What's up, guys?
Hi.
Hello. Hanging in there.
Chilling.
So, wait, what are we doing here?
I don't know. What are we doing here?
What we do every day. Pretend to work while hanging out.
Lies you tell. Anyways, hold on.
Lord knows we don't pretend.
Hold
No,
on
but-
while I drink from my
What
bottle.
is that gallon?
See, when you're trying to be fit, right? Sometimes you have to just, drink water
I want
all
one
the
of
time
those.
and all of this. You want one, Abby? I'll get you one. Then both of us will now be cheersing during the show. All right.
And
Wow.
he'll be jealous.
Why are we in front of the camera? First?
I won't be jealous. Maybe it's a premiere. And nobody told us. So we showed up to interview about
I'm
Inkblot.
used to these things. I always cameo in all my films. So
And why are we in office wear, please?
you tell us. Why did you just wake up?
Was it not?
Look, see. I have nothing to wear today, so thank you very much. It's a laundry day, and then this was the only thing that was
Wow.
true. Yes.
That is just, I guess, 40 plus behavior, right? You know,
Wow.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
All
So
these
we're
millennials.
behind the camera.
In front of
Normally.
We're in front of
Right.
the camera. This.
I was doing a bit.
Sorry, no vex.
I mean,
Carry on.
that's why I'm the writer,
Ooh.
There we go. Yes.
Box office writer.
Yes, but that's funny thing. We all started off as writers, but only one of us survived. It was.
From the beginning, I told all of you that I'm not going to write.
So I'm the failed writer here. That's what people are telling me. There's
If
still
the-
hope for me.
If the week fits, wear it.
There's still hope for me.
Zulu has been planning a boat cruise movie for 4 years now.
I'm planning that with Damola and me.
We're working on this. We're working
And
on it.
the
It's a work in progress.
So
It's a
I
work in
think
progress.
that movie is literally how we started in a nutshell, because there was an excuse to hang out that eventually may turn into something.
Well, yeah, I understand that. Yes, we basically wanted to hang out, but I mean, you basically brought it up to me in a different manner. You told me that, look, there's a business opportunity. JJ was giving out money to Nollywood, and that we should go into it. That we can
So you
make
came
movies.
into this for money.
Well,
This is why you've been a ghost for so long.
look, while we're all trying to make money, it's essential. But
So-
anyways,
So that was why Inkblot started, but we forgot why we're here. And this is the actual problem with us. We literally were gisting for so long. I was like, we basically decided that this podcast or video blog that we were going to start has no introduction. So can we actually pretend that is an introduction?
now. Okay, let's start over. Let's
so
just introduce
pretend
ourselves.
that the last 5 minutes didn't happen. Go.
And let's just introduce ourselves.
You are,
My name is Damola.
Oh, I'm Zulu.
and
Hi.
I'm Chinaza.
Yes,
I'm
and
not a guy.
And Zulu is not a South
I'm a
African
lady.
man. She's I don't know, what was that your tribe again? Okay, sorry. Never
So,
mind.
and this explains how Inkblot started in a nutshell. We literally enjoyed hanging out so much, and we just kept making stuff. And that's how we figured out, let's do a podcast called Drumroll.
Meet and greet.
Yes. So
Jazz
Inkblot
fingers.
meet and greet. It's a very 30 plus joke, because when you do cinemas, you do meet and greets, but we are not ashamed. We are owning our age with pride.
Please. The plan of eventually is that as we go along, as we figure out how we're going to be talking to ourselves in front of the camera, we'll bring some of our friends who have been with us over the years to come and talk to us about
So
how
it's
they
only
got
people
here.
you have
Yeah,
met
this
in
feels
the
really
full
weird.
years that I will come. So nobody you met yesterday.
I mean, if you are hot in Nollywood, you are hot in music, we will invite you over. Now come and sit on
Wow,
our
so
couch
you
and
now
come and
have
juice with us.
like levels of introduction. Is that fair? What if the random person on the street wants to join this podcast?
Get into a movie first of all, become a big become a big person in the Nollywood industry, and then we'll put you on the show. Abi,
Yes.
thank you very much.
What you say?
You can't just beat anybody here.
So guys, how did we get here? Really?
It was
How
10
did
years
we get
ago.
here?
That's all I remember.
2010. Yes.
Yes, so 2010. So of course it was 2010, but I mean we were all addicted. Weirdly, no. Damola and I were addicted to movies. We grew up watching movies. We grew up reading books. Zulu was a late convert to movie watching,
Yes,
but she read a
quite
lot
late.
of books.
Yes, I read
like
it.
it's so funny when we started our initial meeting that we talked. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Zulu will be looking at us like, no.
I only saw Glee like last year.
But why is Glee the reference?
I don't understand.
Or maybe because that's the one my husband actually uses to insult me.
Why?
Glee.
Because it doesn't get how I...
No, but you
No,
remember
so
that.
let's say Glee. You see, Grease.
Greece.
Now
Yes.
that I can understand why they would insult you. Yes.
Okay, please.
Greece,
Now,
yes.
please. Zulu is just insulting us here. When she's mixing up a TV show with a movie,
They start
she's
with
mixing
G.
up
Let's
a
move
classic with.
Well, Glee was a classic. In theory, I mean, I enjoyed the musical numbers of Glee because I grew up watching musicals as a
You
kid.
guys would get used to it.
I mean, my first movie I watched 3 years old was Wizard of Oz. That was the first movie I watched as a kid. Like, literally, I remember this because my mother was like, your father is a pastor. Should he allow you to watch a movie with Wizard in the title? It was an actual conversation that I remember as a 3-year-old.
Oh,
How
that's so
wait,
Nigerian.
wait. Your dad is a pastor, and the first movie you watched had Willy Willy and Witch inside.
I'm telling you.
Flying monkey with
Yes,
wings.
my mother thought it would be educational.
What kind
Well, it
about
is.
your cult? About your cult? No wonder you ended up in Hollywood.
But funnily enough, I remember it was so funny. We could watch The Wizard of Oz in our house, but we couldn't watch The Wiz because The Wiz was the one with Michael Jackson because that one was a little bit more extra.
Zulu, have you seen The Wiz?
No, sir.
I mean,
And I was here going, I think I knew what he was talking about. You now had to call me out. Thank you.
so if you haven't seen The Wiz, you should because it's madness. But that is too far of an origin story. 3-year-old Nas doesn't start Inkblot. However, there was a segue behind the clouds, Village Master, Future Commotion that cemented that watching our stuff was awesome, which is basically that when we were a kid in Nigeria, we watched everything.
Yes.
Shout out to video clubs, video net, water parks. That was my jam.
Mine was Video Mart. So
Why
basically,
they not the same place? Did they
And
not
also
mention?
just shout out to terrestrial TV because what you see is what you watch.
Oh, right.
yes.
And there were Indian
Hey,
films.
please. I have to shout out one. Sorry, DBN
Woohoo!
Night Shifts.
As a filmmaker today, I have to say that I deplore the piracy.
Okay, yes, we have to deploy piracy, but yeah, besides that. So we've clearly established that because of our love for film and because of our love for TV, we decided to now consider writing to then now create Inkblot. Wait, we started writing.
And my love for writing, oh, I actually do love this thing. I do love it.
We believe you.
Yes, so we're a bunch of movie buff geeks people who thought we could do it. And so the easiest way to learn that you can't do it is to start doing it. So we basically started, and we used to, like, back then, I guess there was not as much entertainment because we used to invite people to our house
Oh,
to
that was
sit
fun. We should
down
do that.
and do script readings of the stuff we've wrote.
Yeah, we should continue. to do
Yeah,
that.
but really, let's not lie.
No, those are
I
fun
got
times.
married to one of the people that came.
So that was the reason.
Then,
so we actually set it up to get married.
we were using some of those things to toast people so that they think that, I really like,
All right, culture.
you are culture.
I guess that was all used to pass
Wow.
for
We're
culture
not
in
just
2010.
all about clubbing and hanging out.
You guys, me, I was there for the work. See the kind of people that
but
walk
also,
through me.
but also there was also quite a bit of alcohol, and then there was also food.
Yeah. So, like, to be honest, like the origin
There was
of
guinea fowl.
yes, there was guinea fowl. So much.
Thank
guinea
God
fowl.
for Ikoyi Club Guinea Fowl.
So I think that we actually ended up because we had to have material for those things. We actually ended up doing a lot of writing.
Yeah.
We wrote 12 episodes of that show that we ended up rewriting
But
because
what kind of geeks? I don't know. Like, how do you by yourselves push yourselves to just be writing on the
No,
side?
yes.
Like, we all had day jobs,
So
right?
we're day jobs.
well,
But we
Zulu,
will just-
do you count what you did as actually a day job?
Please,
Wait,
modeling.
wait. But modeling is a job. Modeling is hard.
It wasn't the modeling that was the point. It was the pretending to sell real estate that was the point.
Oh, I did that. I did that too.
How
did
many
it.
land? How many land did you sell?
Did you sell any house? Did you sell any land?
Here's the thing. You can sell things in different ways.
You can sell the idea of selling
You
land.
might not sell the sale, but you might assist in selling the sale. How about that?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Please, let's move on from
welcome to Zulu Oyibo of Inkblot Productions. Who
On
you can
Liquid
sell
at
the
the
sale.
time.
You can sell the sale.
You guys, please, it's okay to actually try and fall and get back up, right?
Yes,
Till
which
you-
is similar to the Inkblot story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Similar to the Zulu story. These guys are just
Yes. So after we did the radio show, we realized that to make that show, people are going to have to give us tons of money. And ain't nobody giving us tons of money.
as in, who are we? Who are you people?
Yes.
Just small boys and
Yes.
girls.
I mean, it was the
Coming
passion.
from-
We had the passion for the industry. We
Who
enjoyed
passion
watching
help?
movies.
Yes.
We enjoyed writing. And we wrote a lot of stuff.
And so we shrunk down our expectations, say, what can we actually make?
Yes.
And then we came up with Knock Knock,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Which is on YouTube. You can go watch it if you like. Zulu basically sounds like somebody who's going to hunt down everybody who has ever watched and say, how dare you?
Like, I don't know
I
why
mean,
we keep
it was.
promoting
I
that
mean, it was
thing.
ambitious because it was meant to be. I mean, then this was around the period when we were doing this was when How I Met Your Mother,
Yes.
Friends were really big. So for us, we wanted to make something along those lines because we wanted to make something similar to what we were watching.
And did you
Yes.
make it?
we did. I mean, it was a story of two guys and two girls who were roommates and how they fell in love.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
now.
it was, and so the fun, but I mean, really, it was Zulu who wrote the first episode to give herself a cameo in this show. I think that's why she wrote that episode.
So Zulu, you were a sleepwalking one night stand in a script that you wrote. So wait,
Lying on a cooker.
you casted yourself as a jump off.
I mean, really.
After we shot Knock Knock, we moved on.
Ever so quickly, we realized that Knock Knock wasn't working.
Yeah, so we figured out how to.
Before we figured out, I decided to get another job because this wasn't going to work.
Yeah, so we figured out how to not make content by making Knock Knock, and they say like and that's the last thing for us, I guess. We just we're like the Energizer Bunny. We keep on trucking So after we did Knock Knock, we had two options, right?
So wait, what was the problem with Knock Knock? Let's even sit down and just ask ourselves. What was really the problem?
There was I don't think
It's
there
your
was a
first
problem.
thing.
It was the first thing.
What was the first thing? So production-wise, it could have been better.
No, so I would say it was
Writing-wise, it could have been better.
Of course,
Editing,
I'll say the
yeah,
script.
everything,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
see.
so we were too
It
ambitious.
was really just our
so
first outing.
Yeah,
That was
so
what that was.
yeah.
So I mean, we're allowed to fail on our first outing.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest problem for me for Knock Knock was that back then we didn't even know how to monetize it. So we didn't know how to make money from it.
What are you talking about? Remember, we said we'll get 1 million views on YouTube. We have forgotten.
Well, I think if you add up all the episodes, we're at 100,000.
No,
Never.
We're like 20,000.
We're like 5.
No. The first episode still has like 10,000. Remember, Better Nigeria was very nice to us.
Oh,
and they
then-
carried it.
And then all those comments. God, Nigerians, you guys. Wow.
They said the writer should be shot.
Wow.
Like, what have you people done? It was quite a thing. And so after the scarring of that, we were like, yep, let's go do it again.
So we went back and then, so I remember this one. We had this big argument about, okay, so what should we do next? Should we do film? Should we do more web series? Should we do scripted content that we can sell to people? Then Naz was like, okay. Then I think that was when the GJ conversation came.
No, the GJ conversation happened after we had made the movie. And it was like, this is a way, they were doing a grant for movies in production. We were actually...
We had started shooting.
Yes, we were in
yeah.
post. We were running out of money, and then the JG thing happened. We actually used the grant we got to complete the film and release it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how we released the
department, yes.
in January of
2015.
2015.
Yes.
5 years after I started Inkblot.
Yes. So it took us 5 years to basically get on the making stuff train. And the interesting thing about the part one was that we realized after we drove Knock Knock ourselves that we needed help. And that formed the basis of almost the Inkblot story, which is like working with other people to help us out, right?
Yeah, we're big on collaboration.
Yeah, and so getting Uduak.
And I think it was really smart. Thank God it's Uduak that we actually met along the way. Meet and greet.
Yay!
So sorry, I had to pause and take in that horrible joke, but I love it.
No.
Thank God.
Plug the name of the show, please. Don't mind them. Meet and greet.
Meet and greet, yes.
Thank you.
So thank God, because she was so good with us. It's great to always have that good person, that person who actually is involved and is interested and believes in you and brings all their resources, and helps in every way that they can.
Although
And
she,
Uduak was that person
although she kind of looked at us as, who are these small children that just...
But she believed.
But
because
I mean,
who are
but she
really
still
think
helped
about
us
it,
out.
Who are these small children? We had nothing. We had nothing in the industry. We're not actors.
We had never been... We had day jobs, number one. We're not actors or anything
We're not
related to
comedians,
film
obviously.
or in any way, shape or form. And then we wanted to make film. And she was just like, okay, let me help you guys out.
Exactly.
She introduced us to people.
So she took a
helped
chance.
us. Yeah, she took a chance for us. So I mean, I really like that.
Because she's not as if she didn't put her name on it, because her name, Closer,
Yes.
technically, Closer Pictures is on
Yes.
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 And it's the first thing she was on.
Yes,
Yeah.
Closer Pictures, yes.
Yeah, actually.
Yes. Because that's when she was just launching
Her own-
Yes, our own
Yes,
thing.
and so she put her brand and credibility behind us.
Yeah,
that's great.
Oh yeah, Uduak, thank
Yes.
you so
very
much.
And that's why we're big about giving back, because the only reason why we're here is that people did that for us. And so it's an opportunity for us. And it was a baptism of fire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Literally.
Naz almost
The
got
generator caught
arrested,
fire.
and then generator caught fire.
Yes. And not only that, we were shooting at a building, right? They didn't give us their big gen. They gave us their medium-sized gen that wasn't working. So we were having to pour diesel into the gen as it was running. We were doing 50 liters an hour. So one of the PAs was standing downstairs, literally pouring
Man, the
diesel
danger, no
into-
insurance.
It was like
Welcome to Nollywood, where you as a PA will be pouring diesel into a gen while it is on, so that the production can continue, and you don't have insurance.
Whatever it takes.
so
it's-
and that attitude was based on something like and to be honest, like that is why Nollywood became what it did, was because
Yes.
getting the movies out was something, and it was a
that.
lesson that transformed me, translated to my day job. It actually made me a better private equity investor, because that can-do attitude, never say die.
yeah,
like
you
it
really, literally never
Yes.
say die. We die here is actually what
We
we say.
architects don't think that way, you know. We just show up. And
That's why you didn't show up for 10 years.
I don't understand.
He was a ghost.
He was working behind the scenes. He
So
was
it's
like
so-
a marketing
I
guy.
was behind the scenes.
So
like
for
really,
this story,
literally all the way behind.
me, Akimola, one of
Into
our
the
best friends and one of our
afterlife,
directors,
as
we
it
worked
goes.
on 4 or 5 of our films, met Damola 6 years into working with us. And he actually told Zulu that we didn't think he existed.
Yeah.
He thought you made him up.
Yeah.
He had worked on that point like 8 of our films, and he thought he made our partner who founded the company with us. He thought that he was a figment of our imagination.
Yeah.
Even though, having said that, I think Nee was messing with us, because I think Damola came to the Out of Luck premiere.
Yes,
In
I
Apapa.
did. No, I didn't. No, I did not.
You
go
see?
to Apapa. I'm against. I'm allergic to Apapa. Apapa is
That's why-
Apapa and me don't get
That's
along.
why he thinks that you are a ghost, because when we made our second film, Out of Luck, right? It was a low budget film.
Oh yeah, this was my first
Yes,
foray
and so
into producing, like as
full-time.
a producer full time.
I love Apapa. I love
And
Out
that's
of Luck.
what-
Out of Luck was one of our best.
Thank you. It's because I
love
was the
Out-
producer.
Thank you very much.
We were all the
welcome.
producer.
Excuse me, I was the young. You get what I mean?
the Shigongo.
The Gongo.
The Gongo of the
So,
Shigongo.
so Out of Luck was like our little ghetto film. It was gritty. We built
It wasn't little get. We were inside the ghetto.
We-
We
we
shot
bu-
in
we
the
built-
ghetto with
yes,
somebody's Range Rover.
Yes, we
Brand new
did.
3-week-old Range Rover.
I remember that. And then when the area boys came to ask for money into the compound, all 50 of them, the Range Rover was packed pristine
Wow.
for them to look at. Nice car.
Wow.
It would be a shame if anything happens to it.
Wow.
See, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I was in my office, you know, enjoying AC, you know, far away from
We
all
were
of
toiling
this.
away for you.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And Out of Luck was great, because that was the movie where we almost quit. Because after the department, it came out, it did okay. We're like, okay, we'll do better the second time. We've learned. Out of Luck managed to make less money in the cinema than the department.
Yeah.
And so we started thinking, maybe we are
And those were
not.
down times.
This is
It's
not
like
for us.
Maybe
really,
we are not good, cut out
yeah,
for
there's
this.
a reason why not, sensible people don't come
Don't
into
do
this
not-
industry.
this industry.
But
It's
then,
a scene.
luckily
We
for
scaled
us,
back? Did we scale back?
no, we scaled back for Out of Luck. Yes.
Yeah, okay, we scaled back for Out of Luck.
But luckily for us, we
Iroko.
did a deal with Iroko, yes.
Yeah.
And it went on Iroko, and it blew up. People were like, oh my goodness, this is a great movie. And
Nigerians, please encourage us.
yes, don't say the writer will get shot.
I mean,
Just encourage us.
so what, it was down that way. So it was now that motivation that we now put into arbitration.
Yes. Funnily enough, arbitration was a very funny story. So we said, okay, we have learnt. Arbitration, we're going to make it for 4 million naira. So worst comes to worst, we will not lose any money. And then I started writing arbitration. And the budget kept
Increasing.
increasing. And then
But this is normal stuff till date.
No, but in my mind, arbitration was always like a very low budget movie, because when you think about it, it had like 6 people in a room discussing for most
no,
of
that's
it.
why
Yeah,
we
but it was
thought we
supposed to be
could.
lower.
That's why we thought we could make it
The
for
budget
4
was
million.
supposed to be
And
How
the
much
budget
did we make it for eventually?
11.
Almost 12.
Yeah.
Almost 12 million in 2016.
Yes.
Yes.
Adjust for inflation, that's like 15 million naira now, 20 million naira now.
Well, I mean, we
Yeah.
don't do
I don't
math in
know.
our head. Sorry.
Okay. No, private equity, explain now, I don't understand. Anyway,
So-
but wait. For me, I like the movie because it was low budget, 6 people in a room, had Adeswa in it, and had OC in it again. Ireti Doyle,
Somkele
and Somkele Yama.
Yeah,
Right?
and Sola
Sola
Fosudu.
Fosudu.
And
Lotana.
Lota. Yeah, so literally the movie was the 6 of them primarily, and then we had Beverly
Naya.
and
Oh
Chidoke
yeah,
coming
Beverly
and
Naya.
do.
Wow, we worked with Beverly Naya back then.
Yeah, I mean, wedding party was literally 2 months later. So basically, when we did arbitration, it was like a labor of love. We were like this. We felt that the script was important. So we wanted to make a low budget thing, and I think that I was like that 12 Angry Men type of legal thing was what we were
Zulu,
going
have you
for.
seen 12 Angry Men?
Oh
now?
no, of course I have.
You've
No,
seen
guys,
12
12
Angry
Angry
Men?
Men is,
Okay, so first
is
things
the
first.
classic of
12
classics.
Angry Men is arguably one of my best movies, and I'm sure I've told you guys this several times.
It's an amazing film.
It's an amazing film.
Yes.
It's up there with John Wick.
up there
Damola's
with
wife has
Casablanca for
banned
me.
John Wick from
I
their
don't
house.
understand. I still watch
He
it on
has
my laptop
watched
at
it.
night.
He has watched. I think he watches that movie. Him and DSTV are like 5 and 6 when it comes to John Wick. I think Damola wrote a letter to DSTV to say, please keep playing this film over and over again.
I will think that movie will continue to be in cinema if it was just me.
So and then when we were doing arbitration, we were actually Damola at a wedding, and because in 2016, all you did was go to weddings.
That's
on
what we're
weekends.
doing every Saturday.
That's what everybody did.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
And,
Small
and
chops.
we were watching something, either the dance in or something. I remember he was 12 and he was like, man, Naz, making a wedding movie will be a great idea. And I was like, I agree. Like, I showed him my Evernote where I write my plots. I was like, I had a wedding movie there. I was like, man, we can't afford this thing. Like, in my estimate, it will cost at least 60 million because we cannot do a wedding movie that doesn't look like this. And I actually pointed at what was
wedding.
going on. And he's like,
And I was
yeah, man.
arguing with him that it could have been cheaper because, we only get one location. Everybody is here. We wear the same cloth for the 5 days or 6 days of the shoot. Blah, 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 blah.
And so I was like, yes, it's a great idea. And one day, and it was like a goal in our heads. Like, one day we will do one.
Yeah.
And then
Literally,
About
a week later,
yeah.
Moses of Film One calls me and says that he would like me to meet with Moa Budu, that she's thinking of a wedding movie and she wants to do a collaboration, and would we be interested? And I sent my people a message like, you people, this thing is literally like destined to be.
Zeitgeist.
I mean,
AKA
zeitgeist.
Holy Spirit.
Everyone having the same idea at the same
Same
time.
time.
So I still believe that I wrote Wedding Party.
Yes, Damola believes that he came up with the idea for
I
wedding
gave
party.
him the idea for
that,
Wedding Party.
that he was the one that sent it into the atmosphere.
If I did not discuss it with you, would you have now done it with Mo? No.
And who knows?
Or maybe yes, but
So yeah, that was fun coming
Yes.
together with Film One, Koga Studios, God rest
Yes,
Chris's
Chris,
soul,
Yeah.
and
Kemi Adetiba.
Kemi directing
Okay.
it.
true story. Now I put that to call Kemi out here, because true story. When we were going to shoot Knock Knock, we basically approached Kemi first of all.
And she
And
laughed.
Kemi, who
We
was
came
our
back- we really-
friend
we
from
really came back to
from
Knock Knock story, I'm like-
Tete. Kemi said,
bury
no,
it.
this thing needs work. This thing needs a lot of work.
And she was right. And so can you imagine? So we said that Knock Knock didn't work. And it needed more work from the time. So the work we didn't make it good. But so think about how bad it would have been when she read it. So anyway, when we decided to do Wedding Party, Mo was like, guys, I think Kemi Adetiba will be great directing this thing. Trust me, she will do amazing work. And we're like, yeah, okay. I mean, she's family, no problem. And she did amazing work. And
Well, that was just like, yay, women.
yes. And so we
Because
went.
how many female directors did we have?
At the time, she was, well, I mean, technically she was our second.
That's our second, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, no, I don't
but
mean
in
us working. I
yes.
mean in Nollywood.
Nollywood
Yes, that's
generally.
true.
How many do we still have right now, right?
That's true.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, we have a lot of female producers.
Yes, but we need more female
we
directors.
do, yeah, we do.
Yes.
Anyway, so we did Wedding
Yes,
Party.
and then 2016, there's this thing in business, sorry to bring me back to business, that says return on luck, which is that when good things happen around, what do you do with what you benefit? And the thing that happened that we had no control over was 2016 Lagos City to City that the Toronto International Film Festival did.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
So Cameron
2016
Bailey?
was actually a great year
Yes,
for us.
I mean,
think-
Cameron Bailey came to Nigeria and told all of us to submit. And 3 kids that nobody had heard of ended up having 2 films in the Toronto Film Festival.
Festival in
I mean,
2016.
it was
you don't know what that does for a
I mean, for your
Yes.
confidence, because
So,
we
yeah.
submitted arbitration as Inkblot, we submitted Wedding Party as Elfiki,
Okay, yeah.
which was our collaboration with Moabudu Film One and Koga Studios for Wedding Party 1. And both of them got accepted.
Yes,
Yeah.
and Wedding Party 1 was the opening night film. Like, I remember when I was
I
walking
saw I
down
didn't
from
go
my...
to Canada.
Yeah, so I went to Canada. Zulu didn't make it, and
I had work.
forever and ever. I'll regret
yes,
it.
I literally, the day of my flight, I went to the embassy.
Picked your passport?
No, they told me that I should withdraw my passport, and if I am lucky, there's a visa inside. So
wow.
literally, I could have gotten there, withdrawn my passport, and there's no visa.
Visa, yeah.
Literally. And I was flying the next day. I was like, wow. So they said it's your choice. So I was like, well, I'm going to miss it if I don't do it. So I withdrew it, and lo and behold, the visa was inside.
Hallelujah.
And
Because
so
then Canadian embassy used to take like 3 months.
Yes, and it was made
does it
worse
still-
because of the influx. Like, it was crazy. Like, they said that they had never had that number of applications at the time. Because Nigerians, man,
We support each other.
We showed out
when we want to show
at
when we want to show up and show up.
that festival. Like, everybody showed up. Like, every screening was sold out. Like, they had a party for us. It was a whole thing.
Well, we flew out because I remember that Nee went for it, Nee Akimola went for it, Adesua
arbitration.
went for it,
Yeah.
Somkele went for it.
It was the same because they were actually
Actually, it
also
was
cast
the
in wedding
same
party.
people because if you look at it, in arbitration, Somkele and Adesua were in it, and they were also in wedding party.
Yes,
as well.
and Ereti as well.
And Reti Doyle as well. Wow, it did not click. Was that why they picked both movies? You know, not thinking about it.
So who knows, right? Like, but I remember, right? Funnily enough, wedding party got in first. Arbitration was on a wait list, and then we got the new arbitration a month later.
Wow.
Yes. So it was like we didn't get it, and my wife said that I was lying to myself when I said it doesn't matter if arbitration doesn't get in because we had wedding party, and the way I felt after. Arbitration got in, she was right. It didn't matter that
It mattered.
No,
Yeah, it
arbitration,
mattered.
I feel like arbitration meant more to me
Arbitration was
than
like,
wedding
it
party.
was
Because,
our
it was
baby.
But anyway,
Yes. So basically,
after that,
that gave us the confidence boost to say, okay, yes, we can.
Why would you give you confidence boost when your what do you call it? Your third movie, your fourth movie basically becomes the highest grossing movie in Nigerian history.
And that was the extra. So basically, TIFF was like validation.
Yes.
That you guys make films that people think the world wants to see.
yeah.
And then we came back December 2016. The first, 2016 was one of the toughest years in Nigeria for a while. Nigeria had a recession, no slow growth. And that Christmas, cinema halls were sold out. Like, my mother tried to take my grandmother to see Wedding Party 1. They went 4 times because it was sold out every time. And then she started calling me and shouting at me that why did I not arrange for her to see it? I was like, but you didn't tell me you want, because my parents don't normally watch my stuff. But I was like, if you had told me you wanted to see it, I would have arranged it. But man, that 2016 was an amazing.
I think Wedding Party was a film for aunties.
Yeah.
Aunties
It was a film for
For
everybody.
the whole family. And it was
No,
that
but
we
the
all-
auntie reactions.
Oh yes, the dancing. Oh my goodness, the dancing.
But when you come to think about it, Sha, that basically solidified the goal in our mind that we need to do more movies. And
Yes.
that basically
More 4-quadrant movies as
and
well.
that basically ended like the first chapter of Inkblot,
Yeah.
and then
And
started
started
the
a new
second chapter of
chapter.
Inkblot. I mean, it's pretty
You live and you
amazing.
learn, right?
So now, what was phase 2 for Inkblot?
The on money phase.
Yes, my wife and I.
So basically, Omoni and I met for the first time at TIFF, and she yelled at me, and I'm not actually kidding, for 10 minutes, saying that we did a disservice to arbitration. And
How come?
because she loved it so much, she said that you could have done so much in the marketing. And I was like, my sister, do you know what happened to us? We had a sponsor that dropped out last minute.
As is our story.
Welcome to Nollywood.
Our
That-
story,
we had-
every film.
She's like, but couldn't you have pushed it? I was like, sister, you are a celebrity. We are not like what?
No, but-
she's like Naz. Next film, let's do it like what we next time you see what pushing means. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I mean, it was a sure thing. It wasn't even a we will or we won't. And then that was actually our next film.
Yeah, my
Because
wife.
my
My wife and I was our next movie.
yes.
So wait, you're telling me that in 2016 we did 2 movies off the back of doing. We've been doing 2 movies a year since 2015.
Yeah, every year
Since we
did-
started.
Yeah. Are you patting yourself on the back by accident?
We got to 3 at a
Humble
time.
brag now. Humble
No,
brag
we
now.
never did 3 in a year.
Sure.
We never did.
What the New Money year? We had Moms at
Oh
Work
yes, Up North.
and Up North.
Yeah.
What's the third movie?
New Money.
So
That's
wait.
2.
Moms at
My
Work.
Mom's Award, yes.
No, but think about this. But
But
really,
wait, go,
but
let's
really,
rewind to the Omoni. Whatever the Omoni, yes.
No, but really, think about this, right? 3 kids who never done film before, just had an interest in it, in their first year in film, do 2 movies in the same year. Both of those 2 movies didn't make any money. Thank you very much. We now came back, did 2 movies in our second year, and then those 2 movies go to TIFF. Off the back of that, two movies again. One with Omoni Ogoli, shout out, huge star, and then
Wedding
another,
Party 2.
which was Wedding Party 2.
Dubai.
This is a case where, look, anything can happen. Quite frankly, anything is possible.
Yeah. Anything is possible. It could have gone anyway. And to think of it, if we had actually rested on our non-laurels, on our failures, we'll probably not be here today. To
No,
be
for
honest.
real.
So it's the push,
Yeah.
that perseverance, and
Yeah.
just the willingness to continue, and it's passion. It's
Yeah.
passion for everybody.
Yeah, so like I mean, there's that. I was going to say famous, but people have. It's not really famous anymore. That the definition of success is going from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm.
Oh, I love that. I've never heard that actually.
What? No.
Never
I
heard
just read. I just read it again this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah.
literally, you just keep running
keep
and just
running.
running. And so my wife and I was like, and the reason why because the joke is that movie made 80 million in cinema, and the joke is that 50 million of that came from the posters.
Yes. I told her, okay, so I remember working on that poster, which was primarily where there was a design that had been done, and I was like, no, we can make it better. Then we came back, and it was the poster of Ramsey in a wedding dress, and Omoni in
a
a
wedding
suit,
suit.
Yes.
and then Ramsey in gele,
Yes.
and then Omoni in Agbada was like
yes,
freaking
and so and
amazing.
we did one for because they were a mixed tribal couple, so we did
Yeah.
one for Yoruba
That-
outfit, English outfit, and Igbo outfits.
Yes.
And the movie came out until tomorrow. So like back there, your marketing ginger is hot. So we're like so the movie was a
hilarious
family
comedy.
dramedy, right? But with the less extra markets. Until we said a hilarious comedy.
Hilarious comedy.
And so people were in their mind primed to laugh, but it's a family dramedy about finding yourself, understanding your spouse. It was not a laugh out loud a minute.
See,
So
I
people
don't
were like,
understand. The movie had a great premise. Husband and wife swap
yes, and we
bodies.
should have just said that it was a family dramedy and left it at that. But
We
you
should have
know,
just added more
We
jokes
hyped.
to the story.
this is the argument we always have about
We should
is
have
it
just
the
added
jokes?
more-
Okay, so we could have done both. How about that? Guys, I'm the lawyer here. You see? I'm just good at mediating.
So
We should just have
it's
done both.
true,
We should have
but-
added more jokes.
and then we did Wedding Party 2.
Then
So, and you know how I said that people used to say that the writer should die, and we thought we had left those days behind us. Let's just
Alas.
say that Wedding Party 2, which is a movie that I love it more than almost everybody else because I think it was an attempt for us to do something interesting, and Nii did an amazing job. And to me, it's like I still think it's the most beautiful movie we've made in terms of scale. Like, there's a scene where Daniela drops down to the ground in her wedding dress that to me is a magical. Like you can feel the goosebumps in that scene. But again,
My favorite scene is the staircase scene. Just how coming down the stairs.
oh
and
yes.
talking to her father.
But anyway, so Wedding Party 2, weirdly enough, and I
I
always talk
remember
about
those two scenes.
how would you
I swear.
know? Like I mean, Wedding
remember
Party
those
2,
things.
like it was one of those things where, and it's the thing about our business where you have to figure out that no matter what you do, like, and you stand your work, the audience may or may not agree with the choices you made. But as a filmmaker, as a creative, you have to stand by those choices. And you learn from the audience. And that's the honest truth. You keep learning. And it's both of those films, right, were mixed. And that was actually really good for us. Because it was like, okay, every opportunity you make a film is an opportunity to do better, right? So take the things that you think worked and the things that you didn't work and you build it. But you cannot make movies for the audience in the sense that, like, don't give the audience what they want, give them what you think, and always continue to grow as an artist.
Yeah, you can do both.
No, I believe in giving the audience what they want.
So
You can do both.
But you know, but for me, the best thing about it was that basically it was that head swell coming from Wedding Party 1. Then we now hit my wife and I 50 million. Just calm down.
80 million,
80 million.
please.
80 million, calm
Plus,
down, behave
not 80
yourself.
million on the
But
dot.
80 million is a lot of money. But just calm down and behave yourself because we're thinking, oh, don't worry, we'll do another 200 million. For where? Then Wedding Party 2 came back again, and then boom! But people were insulting the movie every single time. I have a friend of mine that just said, please, I invited the person to the movie, the person showed up, and the person just said that at the end of the day, I like Wedding Party 2, but please don't do Part 3. Don't stop here.
No, I
Stop.
think people that love Wedding Party 2 love it, and people that hate it.
Yes.
hate it.
And that's what I mean, that like you can't, because there are two sets of fans for Wedding Party 2. The people that loved it and the people that were disappointed or hated it. So which of them are you choosing to pander to? Which is why, like, as an artist or someone who's making stuff, you have to listen to the audience, but you have to ultimately do what you think is right.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And-
it's a choice.
Yes.
And you should always choose yourself.
I mean, because at the end of the
This is me, Yimu in shout.
because the other thing is that, like, and this is the honest truth, and this is something that I've thought about a lot. For an artist to continue to create, if you find yourself not having control of your creativity and doing what other people want you to do, you will burn out. So, like, if you don't ginger the love of the work, I mean, like, look at how we decided to do New Money, right? We had worked with Jemima on My Wife and I, and we were like, this.
Gosh, she was such a horrible daughter. My God.
Like, this girl is a star. And so we were like, okay, what, like, and when I was thinking about ideas for the next project, like a romantic comedy dramedy about Iraq's richest story, and I was like, Jemima is it, and then we basically built an ensemble around her that we thought could work. So that's what I mean. That like, so it was a commercial premise. Obviously, we're not trying to lose money, but you have to believe in the story 100%.
The best thing about New Money for me was my sweet boy Q, Kwam, who then, after that movie, we're just like, look, we have to work with this guy again. And now we ended up doing Kwam's Money.
Yes.
And
so,
he won his award, his MBCA for New Money.
Yes.
Yes, so he won the MPCA for New Money.
Yes, he did.
Has he been nominated for Kwam's Money yet?
We haven't, it's
Sorry, it's
just Panorama now.
It's just no, sorry now.
I mean,
sorry.
there's
We're in the
Panorama.
middle of Panorama.
I thought that, as the movie comes out, they nominate you win award.
So, funnily enough, we also has won an award for one of our work, Funke. She won for Mom's Award, which we also did in the year we did New Money. So, because after we enjoyed ourselves thoroughly on My Wife and I, Omani was like, we got to do something again, but this time I'm directing. And I was like, sure, what should we do? And then I was like, I had this script that I wrote a while ago that I can update. I'll send it to you. She's like, yes, we're doing this.
Yeah, I remember that story. I remember My Wife and I.
Mom's Award.
I remember Mom's Award was...
Damola was like,
no!
Mothers fighting? No! Where are the good men?
Where? Wait, okay, so I think it's about time where if you followed Inkblot movies, you would notice certain patterns. The men are scum, the women are the heroes, the leaders, the whatever, and it's because of this guy.
And I would say that's not true because the third film we did that year, Up North, who was the hero?
It was Baggy W, and it was
a man was the hero.
I love this.
As my father would say.
Carry on, son.
As my father would say, a dead clock is right twice a day. So you making one male hero in 1, 2, 3.
Well,
4,
Kwam's
5.
Money that just came out also had a male
That's
hero.
the second time now.
Now, Out of Luck, which you also said you love, have a male hero.
So long as the majority always carries the votes. This is your battle. You will continue to fight.
We need more men.
No,
So
we don't.
my belief is
Mate,
that
see,
we don't.
I'm just praying that please, I'm putting this one out there that one day we'll put Maoli, just with 6-pack. With just 6-pack, and that will just be the poster.
And Breeze just be blowing.
And that's the film. There'll just be someone just spraying water. But really. So I think there's something that I think we need to do, which is we need to get people to know us a little better because we've talked about our projects and a lot of people know our project, but do people really know?
There's
Zulu
nothing to
Damola.
know.
no, because that's hilarious, guys. Like, so remember, I got invited to this Lagos State thing recently where we were talking about what Lagos State can do for the creative industry, and so I'm on stage. And the moderator is, who are you? Why are you here?
Why are you here? Why are you talking?
And so I was like, my name is Chinaza Onuzo, blank face, from Inkblot. Inkblot! Yes.
Yeah, we all get that.
I mean, and that is the beauty of this
Even
thing.
when I call people, I say Zulu of Inkblot.
Yeah.
Oh, hi Zulu.
It's nice. So and it's a thing that always, and that's the beauty of this thing that it automatically lets you be humble, right? That because in Nigeria people want to go around saying, "Do you know who I am?" I mean, imagine when I say, "Do you know who my company is?" I mean, it doesn't quite have
yes, sir.
It
Do you
doesn't
know who
have
my
the-
company
it
is?
doesn't have
Do you know the company that I founded?
It doesn't have the same ring to it.
Have you seen Wedding Party 1 and 2? Have you seen Up North?
So I think the funniest version of that was when Wedding Party 1 came out. I was at a Christmas party and somebody was telling me congratulations for Wedding Party 1. And I was like, thank you. And then a lady was like, why are they congratulating him? They're like, it's his movie. She's like, no, it's not his movie. It's my movie's movie.
That's my movie.
And I was like, it's my movie too.
Yeah. We all go.
Okay, so let's help everybody right now. Let's play a quick
So
game.
we should play this game.
Let's just try something. Let's try something there that I saw on TikTok.
It's on TikTok.
And I saw on TikTok.
You'll be murdered.
That basically is what do you call it? Who's most likely to do whatever? Or
That's the name of
say
the
you
game.
help us out and ask the question, so that people can now answer, and then they'll use that to know who's who amongst all of us.
Caveat emptor. These guys are liars. So if they ever point at me, it's not true.
So the person that just spoke was Zulu, the only female voice on the podcast. So
I don't actually sound like a girl, do I?
what does that mean?
I have a
What does sound like a girl?
I have
This is
a
2021 though.
I have a raspy, deep, sultry voice, don't I?
So do I.
Let me know.
I don't agree.
Hanifa, please, can you help us
Please
out?
ask. Please ask.
Okay,
Please.
so we're playing a game of like it too. So first
Zulu?
Zulu.
Only this year. And we all know why.
No.
Uh-uh.
We are
you
from time.
guys,
Even when
priority.
we were meeting at what they call it, Ikoyi Club, you used to come late.
And leave early because
yes,
she had
Hello,
coffee.
hello. Where did
And
I
then
live?
you now be the one.
Where
to
did
now-
I live? Ogudu.
Yes, but
Yes,
you
I
now
lived
be
in
the one to
Maryland.
now order-
He
you
lived
now-
No,
in-
where you living? Oh, you were
Yes,
living in
I lived in Maryland and he
Sorry.
lived in Surulere.
And then you
Well,
now be the
all of
one
that
to,
is still closer
you now
to
be the one
Ikoyi
to now
Club.
order guinea fowl before we leave.
Because we need to eat the king. Hello. Please, Damola, you finished everything.
This was likely to geek out over movies.
I think
Naz
having
and
listened,
Damola.
I'm sorry, you cannot listen to this podcast and still ask that question.
Exactly.
Because have you not been listening?
Well,
Please.
it depends on the kind of movie.
No, we're not doing that. They have listened. This is minute 40. They know who geeks out to movies.
Like just it depends
So
on the
we
kind
did
of
our
movie.
job, that one. They know us.
All right, no problem.
Question
Well,
3.
Team
This
non-geeks.
was likely to
Hey.
be a drama queen.
That's it.
Damola.
Damola.
That would be Damola.
Yes, because there's no hill that Damola will not die on.
Yes, Damola dies
I'm
on
just
every
saying is that if you are going to commit to something, go every step of the way. Go all in.
So I think this is his whole ad company background. There's no hill they don't die on. Basically.
I'm just saying is that if you believe in something, go for it and stand by it.
So it's like, that is why when we were younger and there was fights, right? Don't fight, but if you do, it's because you have friends like Damola.
Yes, I will jump in, 2 fists, 2 legs, everything in.
Yes.
All right, 4th question.
Who's most likely to crack everyone up?
That would be me.
So Zulu thinks she's funny. I think I'm funny.
I know I'm funny.
Guys, just listen
I
to
don't
what has been
think
going
I
on
know.
up until this moment and decide.
I think that in the comments, in the Twitter feed, in the wherever you are listening to this is a vote, right? People tell me that polls are ras, but there should be a poll on Twitter that says who is funny.
I'll do giveaway if you pick me.
Wow.
You cannot bribe the audience, Damola.
I don't understand. That's how I win arguments, man.
So stay uncorrupted. What was that? There was a slogan for corruption. Wasn't there a
Corruption?
slogan? No, there was a war against. No,
War
that's
against
what.
discipline and
No,
corruption.
wasn't there? I thought there was a slogan for corruption.
No.
Oh wow.
In Nigeria?
I think I dreamed it.
Yeah, you probably did.
It's probably in one of your.
It's the meat and the goat now. No, goat and the yam.
No.
Remember now, there was a statement. Remember,
Oh, yeah,
yes.
You can't have the knife and the yam.
What?
No, it was the thing, something about separate the goats from the yam.
Oh wait, you cannot have the goats guarding the yam.
Guys, let's carry on.
I don't understand. All right, cool.
Say no to corruption. No goats, no yams, no knives.
I understand.
Who's most likely to treat everyone to lunch?
Nice. It was one that paid for all the guinea fowl.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And he continues to pay for the guinea fowl.
It was a
Sometimes.
trick, right? At the time.
To keep us. He bought us with food. It worked.
So
Carry on.
So actually, no, I said that Damola, you shouldn't bribe people to win arguments. So actually, having the moral high ground of having just eaten my food, you had to actually agree with me. Because back in the day, we used to fight.
Oh.
We still do. We still
Like,
argue
no,
about
but we
everything.
say back then, everything was so important.
Yes.
Oh,
no?
fun fact, we actually had like a real big fight, you guys.
On which one?
Before the department.
Yes.
Yes.
That
now.
was a serious like
Damola come to my house now.
yeah. Oh, Damola.
No.
Yes.
You quit,
Yes,
remember?
you did.
No, I quit for a different reason.
No,
at a
he
different
quit. He
time.
quit twice. He quit
quit-
for my wife and I when we said we're making wife and I, and he was so passionate about treating men in a bad light.
Yes.
That was number 2.
Yes, I was fighting for all the men in the world.
Number 1 was he quit about because he was like, Naz, we don't know if this thing is going to make money. Why are we doing it? This is when we're doing the department.
No.
Yes.
That was I quit the 3rd time. Because there was a 3rd time that I quit when guys, I'm too busy doing work.
Oh
and then
yeah,
doing
so that was
everything.
that was a completely random time, and we just looked at him, and at that time we actually laughed. I remember. We
That's
actually-
why you quit. Yeah. They refused to let
Yeah.
me quit.
Yeah, because at this point we're like over.
It's every year that
so
he's
dramatic.
quitting.
Who's the drama queen? I mean,
we see. Yes.
Shame on all
Who's
of you.
most likely to not respond in group chats?
Zulu.
Zulu, without a doubt. And it was before she became pregnant and was the mother of 2 children. So now she has a reason. 5 years ago, she didn't really have one, but that's just how she used to be.
There was man.
What is this?
Was there man?
I mean, she's been married for 5 years now.
Yeah.
So there was
And
man.
not to me. See, that was the other thing.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
people thought we were secretly married.
Not secretly. People thought we were married.
That's what I said,
So,
secret. Like, did we announce it? So they thought it was a secret marriage.
Most times when
Oh.
you have a production company and there's a guy and there's a girl, people just assume that the 2 of them are getting it on while they are making movies.
It was so weird. Like,
Yes, no.
there was, yes.
No.
I mean, so, and
Even people that started with us, so they were like, oh, so if you are not my okay, then your brother and sister. I'm like, our surnames, you guys. Our surnames.
but you're married now.
No, then I wasn't even
No, I'm
married.
saying now they are saying.
Oh yes, now.
So it's so funny. So Tony is someone that we recently met. So like we hadn't worked with Tony
Tony
before. So we
Tony Abraham, yeah.
Tony Abraham. We first time worked on DOD, And she was like, so you people really are not married? So she thought we were lying to everybody.
It comes up. It comes up.
It
a lot.
comes up ever
Yes.
so often.
So now that you know we are not married. See, that's
Yes.
why.
We're all married to other people.
Other people.
So if literally this podcast video pod log thing does one thing, it will dispel the rumor that we are secretly married.
Do you want
Or
to
we're in a
dispel,
thru-
do you want to
and
dispel any other rumors?
we're not in a throuple.
Okay, there's also that.
There was never that, guys.
But maybe there was, and I didn't get the memo, and I wasn't invited to anything, you know.
So,
It's possible.
so the other question that we keep getting asked, like, I mean, we'll have a podcast about this separately about basically how did we keep making movies,
Yes.
and that bit is one of the advantages of being in finance, and we will talk about later how like other experiences make your life better in life in general.
Yeah.
And so.
Which is why you should always hold on to every experience
Yes.
you have. Because if you
Yes.
learn from it, you will use it in
Yes.
something else.
So that is what really helped us.
And that today is the moral of our story. See?
Yoo-hoo!
You
That's
know,
it.
you know
Got
people
by
that, you know
Zulu.
people that watch Tales by Moonlight, you know, where there must be a moral to everything.
Oh, yes, I'm Team
Yeah.
Moral.
Oh, that was one of the big arguments we had.
Yes.
Because
Till tomorrow.
when we made Knock Knock, I was very adamant that we do a Seinfeld version, a show about nothing.
We're back to Knock Knock.
We need to talk about friends. So my big thesis about Knock Knock, and then Zulu won the argument. And so then we made a whole big thesis about how friends and found family are important. And funnily enough, that theme runs through a lot of our work. So watch it and think about how you see that like your friends are the family you choose.
So
there was even a line.
You're now giving audience take home assignments again. No.
We have 14 films. You have to watch some of them. I mean, what is it? 10 of them are on Netflix. Please be watching.
Please watch. Please.
Speaking of Netflix, we can't talk about that, so don't ask.
Okay. Next question.
Who's most likely to win an argument?
As you know me, I
We
will read it.
established that Damola doesn't quit. So what we have learned to do
Insufferable is the word.
is ignore
I
him.
don't understand what you're
So
talking about.
basically-
Naz is also the same person. Naz is, it's kind of weird, right? That Naz is the one
Naz
person
is-
that I hang out with on a regular basis, and I also argue half the time with. So we basically,
That's true. Sometimes we were hanging out and our wife just looking at us.
when we're arguing about random stuff, who's better, this or this, this, a part of a movie, what does it mean? We will argue about anything.
Yes, but then generally when we so we finish arguing and so Damola is like so Damola's main strength, and I'll say it, is that he knows how to disagree and commit. Damola will argue for 3 hours. If we decide to do something that he doesn't, he will literally do it as if it was his idea. And generally that is a thing that I like. You have
That's what has helped us.
yes, you
Pure
have to be
fact.
born with it. To be honest, it's very you can learn it, but it's easier if you are born with it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Heads well, heads well.
Last question. Who's most likely to die first in a zombie apocalypse?
Zulu, she can't run for shit.
But then Zulu is a producer, so she may start throwing people in front of the zone.
But wait. But Naz is the one that had the dodgy leg and the dodgy hip
Yes, that's
and the
true.
dodgy knees. So
And I'm not a producer. Well, I'm a producer, but I'm not.
But you're the writer, you would just not write something.
So basically, there was a joke we used to say that producers don't make heaven. Like if you want to make heaven, don't be a producer. So literally, Zulu would throw people in front of her in a zombie
wait.
apocalypse.
So wait, if you're trying to say that, so basically, producers and lawyers can't make heaven. Zulu
And I'm
just-
both.
Zulu, you
Well,
can't
but
make
is
heaven.
Zulu really a lawyer?
She has been called to the bar now. She went
Yes,
to law
but in
school.
theory, she has.
Have you ever been to court?
Yes.
Yes, once I appeared. And I said, my lord.
So wait, you wore wig, you wore gown. you
Yes,
wear
my
everything.
brother.
So
I
Zulu,
did.
I still think one of the funniest things about arbitration was that Zulu got into so many. Zulu was like, I am so disappointed in the lawyers that did not understand the legal argument behind
Oh
arbitration.
my goodness. Please. Let's not even go into that.
Like,
Ugh.
No, but what I love about Nollywood people is that people watch Nollywood movies. I think there's a hate watch aspect to Nollywood where people watch it and then they're looking for all the errors, all the problems.
Yeah, but the
all
lawyers
this.
really felt my hand.
yes, because I kept telling them, go and talk to SANs that you know and come back.
And everyone talks with, oh, I know, because you know that's how every lawyer acts.
Yes.
Oh, how that you guys didn't do your research. This is what's wrong with Nollywood. You guys never researched. And then in the end, you are the one that's
No, and
doesn't know what you're talking
because
about.
and because there was a nice bait and switch that we did for arbitration about what the actual legal case was.
Yeah.
And so if you like that sort of thing, it was the basis on which the case was resolved. It was I spent a lot of time figuring out, even though there's actually one legal error in the arbitration that has nothing to do with the case.
Okay.
Can you remember what it was?
legal error in the arbitration.
Yes. Can you remember what it was? Any of you?
No.
No, you graduated now.
No. I did like you don't remember?
No.
Paralegals have to have gone to law school. You cannot be.
Oh, right.
Oh,
And she was saying she was
about to go.
money to go. Yes.
Yes.
And that's not even the one the lawyers brought up.
No, I know they didn't. So they didn't catch that one. Like that's what I'm saying.
that's a small.
No, but it's
detail.
be best believe that my sister-in-law, who is a lawyer, said, "Naz, I love the movie, but yes." So
No, but what I love about this is when you think about all of this, right, is that Nollywood fans, like I said, they love to hate watch. People are going to nitpick and all of that. But what else can we point out about our fans or fans of Nollywood generally and the messages and notes that they've sent to us?
So I think that one thing they used to say, which has gone down but is still there, is, "Oh, I don't like Nollywood films, but I like your film."
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm like, so it's like
And then
saying,
they said going to how can I be a producer?
Yeah, can I be a producer? Then the one that always gets is that, please. How can I get into your movie? And
so I mean, and some of those things come from a good place, which
Yes.
is
Well, but it's not flattering, guys.
no, but
Just
it's
stop
not.
it.
So and that's it. And because there's that whole thing about when you pair the "how can I be a producer" with I don't like about you, is that the whole "I think I can do it better than you people are doing it."
Yes.
And so I find that thing very odd because we struggled, we learned how to do this thing. We started from something that we have to learn, and we knew how hard it is to get to a point where people thought our stuff was good. And even now, the jury is still mixed. So I always tell people that the work is the work, right? There's a really famous article, if you want to Google it, knock yourself out. It's called Crap Plus One.
You're
that
right.
says that you always assume you can do better until you actually do it. And so my argument is that the water is fine, come on in, right? If you want to produce, figure it out. And
I mean, it's all right to think you can do it better. I mean, I think that's even the approach you should have, but you shouldn't let it be what's at the forefront of your mindset. Like,
so how does someone become a trainee?
how does someone become a
How does
trainee?
someone get into
no,
the
so
industry?
Well, I mean, there are many roads to the market, right?
shit.
Yeah.
So you can decide, like we did, to just take, the
Your
reins
destiny.
in your hands and just go for it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And hopefully you have people who buy into your idea, who buy into your dreams.
But you see,
and
it's
support
easier
you.
now because back then there's no YouTube, there's no all those things where
Right.
like cameras are a lot more expensive.
No Instagram even.
Yeah, so you cannot. So right now you can build your network without and show them what you can do. I mean, look at the critics or the Ikorodu
Critic
boys,
101, yeah,
or
I
even
was gonna say.
who have built up their careers using those avenues that allows you to demonstrate what you can do. Us, we have to convince people to invest in us. These days, you don't you can show what you can do,
And people will come.
People will
Investors will come.
and it's something that I think that is a great thing. I mean, when we were growing up, we loved movies, but there's no camera, there's no Super 8 like they have in America. There's no home movie that Damola has attempted to make. But you best believe that if Damola had a phone
Why Blackberry?
when he
Why
was
Blackberry
8,
then?
when you were 8,
Really? How old are you?
What? When I was 8?
Like you said, it's 21,
Why
so I guess.
on stream?
yeah, so basically that opportunity that when you're young to experiment with, which is why, like, to be honest, I am looking forward to the next generation of filmmakers, right? Which is why, like, for me, watching them experiment early and learning these
Yes.
lessons
And
is
I
going to
think
be
we're
amazing.
actually intentional with that, like
Yeah.
giving people opportunity in the little way that we can to help, build this industry. Because really, we know what our plans are going into the future,
sure.
working with a lot of young people. But if you even look at what we've done and the young people we've worked with, both in front of and behind the
camera.
scenes.
But you have to admit that it's mostly behind the camera, which is that, like, we gave a lot of people opportunities in all in the costume, in the production design, in the production, and so that part of it was like it was harder to do the front because the back is like you're building up people over time. It's a more structured path.
Yes.
So when people asked us, "Oh, can you read my script? Can you do this?" Our answer was almost going to be no, partly because we're afraid of being sued.
So wait, if someone says to us right now, "Can you read my script?" or someone sends us an unsolicited script,
Delete.
as lawyer, what's the first thing we do?
We delete.
Yes.
The entire email. We throw the
Get
email
out
away.
because we don't want to get sued.
Yes.
Yeah.
First things first.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so, but the thing is that, like, the other thing we were not doing was, even if you send us a query, we will still not respond because we're not starting to do that because we were not looking for material that wasn't generated within
But
our.
yes.
But we're a bit more open to that now. But we still
Yes.
but we're still trying to figure out the
We
mechanism.
needed our own
of that.
times to grow, right?
Yes.
We needed to take our time to know what we were doing.
And then
Damola has
somebody
to turn to
calls me.
Superman.
Yes. And
So
I
our
will call you
producer is
right-
losing her mind
I
right
will
now.
call you right back. I'm really sorry about that, and it will never happen again.
Again, it's only
So-
Damola this will happen to because he's hardly on set.
Yes. So basically,
What, I have 2 phones now.
we think
This is
that
on silent.
that figuring out how to basically give rise to next generation talent is very important. And I know that that's why people send us those things, because they believe that they're the next generation. And it's something that for us, for legal reasons, I mean, we've been sued a number of times, and trust me, it's not fun.
It's not
And
fun.
so you find out that we end up having to protect ourselves.
Yes.
I mean,
So what you're saying is this. So what's the best way for someone to try to get in?
on which side?
On the production side. So if someone says like, look, I have a passion for film like we did back in the day, but I don't have the resources to be able to shoot anything. How do I get on your set?
So to be honest, it's a PA route. That's the route. So let me give
Or
you
an internship.
Yeah.
right?
a
PA.
production assistant on
So
intern.
production assistant, so like that one where someone was pouring this little
Yes,
into the
that's
so
what
yeah,
I'm
how
calling
we're
it.
shooting. That's the one you're telling
No,
me.
but it's unfortunate, but it's true. So let me give you the best example, and there are 3. The first one is AK. AK was a production assistant on Out of Luck.
Yes,
There
yes.
are poverty pictures of him as a PA, but he
Well,
did,
and us.
well, we were not
poverty
PAs.
pictures as
They were
producers.
yes, he was a poverty
There's a
atmosphere.
whole poverty story. behind
And
all
so
that.
he moved from that to being a first assistant director
Yep.
to now he's a director. He's directed 2 movies.
Yeah.
He did Elevator
Baby
Baby,
and
which
Baby.
basically was a top 10 movie of the year. It came out, I think, but he also did very well on Netflix. I mean, he had a viral post of please watch my movie on Netflix. And we were so happy to basically partner with him on his second film with Nee. Love Nee.
Yeah.
Nee has done this thing for young filmmakers better than almost anybody in the industry.
Yes.
And we partnered with him on DOD, Day of Destiny. That was really great, which is still in cinemas.
Oh
maybe.
yes, and fun fact, Nee is not part of Inkblot.
Yes.
So
That's also a rumor.
yes, another rumor that we need to dispel is that people constantly send mails to Nia and say to the MD and CEO of Inkblot Productions.
Yeah, so Nee at some point gets annoyed. You people, they should know who you are. They should stop sending me messages because they keep telling
But
me.
he's our people.
Yes, I
he's
mean-
our people.
Yes.
Nia has worked on us. Has
Cool
directed
people.
Almost all of our films, like so, one way or another.
Yes. Either post-production or directed. Yeah, he's basically like handling
like I mean, like
Yes.
he's like Nee is family.
And he
Like,
reads all our scripts before he even gets
yes.
produced.
I mean,
Yes.
Whether or not he's directing, yeah.
Yes.
we have a WhatsApp group with Nia in it. Let's just put it that way.
Basically, you guys were right. Nee is part of Inkblot.
Nia kind of is part of Inkblot.
Yeah.
So wait, so if somebody now asks, how can I be like Nia? How can I become part of
So,
Inkblot?
so Nee, we met Nee through Uduak, because I mean, like a lot of our relationships that started through Uduak, and so he was initially the post house editor on the department, and so but she was like, he also directs, and he's directing the new film I'm doing, which was Falling.
Yes.
And so after the department, my life was stressed. I was like, I want to work on film, but have no stake in whether it succeeds or fails. She's like, great, come and be co-producer on Falling. And Nee directed Falling, and that's why I actually met Adesua and Isioma and all of those, and Blossom, who we worked with multiple times after that. And then I was like, when we had our second project, Out of Luck, I was like, Nee, we want you to direct this. He's like, why? I was like, well, I liked Falling and I like what you did, and I basically showed them to. I don't think you had. Did you meet Nee on department? You didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I took something to him.
Oh
I
right,
can't
yeah. I
remember.
don't think
Was it
Damola.
Drive or something.
No.
But we expect that Damola
And
met
then that's when we
6
met,
years
and then
later.
we did
No, I
the
met-
production.
I met-
Yes,
I met
and so
Nee.
and then when I told Dula, when he was like, yes, I love Nee, and then we worked together. And
No,
it's
you,
good.
you don't not love me.
Yes, you do. Yes.
When and that's the thing with I think everyone should have just be more giving of yourself.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
And that's what he has in.
Yes.
in
I mean, I
tons.
guess that's why we like collaborations, really.
Yes.
Because if we've given of ourselves to a bunch of projects, but at the same time, you've got people like Nee, you've got people like
Uduak,
Uduak,
like
you've got
Dave,
people like
yeah.
Isioma, you've got people like who else? That we basically guys at Film One who've given of their time and all of that to us as well, which is how we've gotten
Yeah.
as far
I mean,
as
and
we've
even
gotten.
and even as far on the cast side, I mean, like we say, like Adesua was not supposed to be an up north, but we're in a bind, and she helped us out playing that character. Blossom showed up for us on New Money. He knew what the role was, and he was giving himself generously. And so we're like one of the things that how you get ahead of this industry is literally that openness and that will to work with each other to build the industry. Because to be honest,
Collaboration,
we're still in the building
collaboration.
phase.
Yeah.
That's like people think that Nollywood has arrived.
No, of course.
My brothers and sisters.
Please,
We have a long way.
Yeah,
Please,
so
please.
I
What's
went
the
to
biggest movie?
I-
What's the biggest Nollywood movie in terms of budget that you can think of?
budget is about, it has to, technically it's half of Yellow Sun, right?
That
$8
was
million.
$8 million.
Never
right?
to be repeated again.
Never to,
For now.
Well,
because-
for now.
No. I mean, normal Nigerian movie, because by the time you calculate it in dollars, you just realize that our movies are basically episodes of some TV series.
Less
Than some episodes.
Because I remember when I discovered of this thing called production value per minute,
Oh yeah.
and then you use it to calculate Nollywood. I was just like, wow.
Yeah, it's
And
really
We're a
low.
poverty industry.
Yeah. But we're growing. I mean, like you look at, we have 3% of Nigeria's GDP, even as we are.
Yeah.
I mean, and so that's like a few $100 million, or maybe say, if no, like 2-3 billion a year of economic activity created by Nollywood. But
Oh, shit, finance.
yeah, okay, private equity guy.
Oh, shit,
Segue,
finance.
but very briefly, and they're like, if we can capture most of that for the people in the industry, man, now most of that money goes to the pirates of all various forms. But figuring out how to get that money in the hands of the creators, the people that work on the projects, man, that would be a game changer. I did a poll on Twitter, now remember?
Yeah,
About
400K.
400K, the 400K thing. And it was only 100 people, but that's why we're not famous, but sorry about that. And it was interesting that most people had to work at 2 to 3 to 4 jobs to make 400K.
I think 1 to 5 was where most of
Yes.
to make 400K a month.
Yeah,
They had
that
to
was like
basically-
50% of the
Yeah,
poll.
so that means that
50%
literally
of
most
the
people had to
But
do.
it was fun to see 20% be less than
Yeah,
one.
less than
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So which means I'm sure you're probably a director or you're
An
probably
actor.
an actor.
Yeah, but
To be able
the
to
economics
get
are improving, but they can get better. My dream is for the PA to make that 400K.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we shot Wedding Party 2 in Dubai, PAs were earning equivalent of 1,000 a month.
So yeah, that's PA salary.
And that's the other thing. When you shoot outside this country,
You know just
Oh,
how
why
much poverty
expensive.
we are in.
but that's a story
We're,
for
we're
another day.
basking in the
But
poverty.
guys, so when we started this entire show, I was here and I've drank like half of this.
You
thing.
drink way too much water. I think it's the solution. Is the
I
is
need
the
to go and
conclusion.
pee.
No, but
so
that's good.
Can we tell everybody? Can we please end this conversation? So I
Okay,
can go
so I think you're right. I think that, and so I mean, when we started doing this thing, I wasn't sure if we would have fun doing it, but I had fun. I don't know about you.
Well,
Next time we need alcohol. We need like
Yes,
shisha. We
I
need
need like a
small
real
chops.
big
We need like puff puff.
standard-sized glass of wine.
Wine.
That's what I need.
So so you don't need the shisha. You don't need the small chops.
no,
you
those
don't need
ones
the
you
puff
can. I can leave you to it. And, oh, puff.
puff puff.
Yes.
So
Okay, so producer will feed us next time.
Hallelujah.
producer, please, can you please make all of those things available?
But seriously, thank you
Impact.
guys for listening. If you did, and yeah, where can we find you?
So please, you can find us at Inkblot Production. It's at the bottom somewhere. And
Yeah.
please subscribe, like, click notification because we'll have more episodes.
But like personally, this guy's handle is Damola 555 on
Yes.
on Instagram.
Please get me to 1,000.
Yes, and on Twitter. I think
On
it's the same.
Twitter.
On Twitter, Damola 5 or DBlock5.
dblock5
Oh,
on
see, I
Twitter.
think we need to harmonize because I just realized me too. My names are different.
No, mine is similar, but not really. Mine is ZVLV on Instagram and then ZVLV_O on Twitter.
Wow, that's just hard. I think I'm Nazonuzo on Instagram and I am on Twitter. I am Snaz or something. So I think we probably
Yes, and Snaz on
Yes.
You see, when we set up those things before, we knew that.
Yeah, it's like the Hotmail accounts that you had when you were a child.
Yeah.
Let's see, what's yours?
My father set it up so it was Chinaza Onuzo at Hotmail.
Oh no, what's yours?
Damola 555.
Oh, fine.
What was your?
Zutang 007.
Zutang. Oh, I remember that email when we used to send our scripts back and forth. Zutang 007. I
Yes.
remember.
So basically, we have never been cool. Clearly,
never.
but I think that if you heard us,
Everybody here speaks for themselves.
so
Yeah,
actually, I take it back. There
I
was a
was very
brief period in
Where
my
you were
20s
cool?
that I was cool.
No,
It didn't last, but it
Bless
was there.
no, I was always.
I think that's probably when we met because cool has to recognize cool.
No,
Well, I
was always
mean,
cool.
And then I don't know.
And
why-
I was going to say, well, only one of us almost had an accident on 3rd million, but then I realized, no, that's not true. We all actually did that.
Yeah.
No.
So at some point we'll tell you the naughties
Yes.
Inkblot. It was
Tell
rather
you all
ex-
our backstory.
Yes.
All the ones that we can't
yeah.
reveal.
But
on
also, if you're not watching it on YouTube, but you're listening on Spotify, which is now in Nigeria,
or Google
or
Podcasts or,
Google
Apple
Podcasts or wherever.
Podcasts.
Or Apple.
So yeah, you can listen to us through that. Subscribe there too.
So please look for Meet and Greets.
Is that the name?
Yes, now Meet and Greets.
Is it S or without an S? Because he keeps adding the S.
No, he's adding his.
By the time you
greeting,
search,
he's
by the time you
multiplying
search
his
for
greets.
it, if you see Meet and Greets,
No,
Meet and-
because like when we started now, there were other Inkblot productions. We were like number 5 in IMDb. But I think I don't know if we're number 1 yet, but we are climbing.
We're climbing.
Hallelujah.
So
I
I
mean-
think we're number 1 now. We're number 1, yeah.
Okay, yes, because of the thing we cannot talk about.
Yes.
Right. So meet and greet, guys.
Yeah, meet
Yes.
and greet.
Yes.
There's no S.
So we had a lot of fun. So we're going to keep doing this.
Hopefully.
I mean, and as we said, we have already told you people, perseverance is our middle name. So we're just going to be doing it.
We're going to
like,
do this. So
love it.
please,
If
in
you
the
like.
comment section, you can abuse
But please be
us.
gentle.
Please just be nice. I'm in my old age. I don't have the
40
heart for it
plus.
anymore. I don't understand. I'm just
21.
21 in my
19th
mind.
anniversary of his 21st birthday.
No,
All right, thank you
21.
guys. This was a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy. Peace out.